Alright guys, it's contest time. This is for my 100 subscribers. I'm a little past that right now, but I thought I'd get the video out before we got too far with the subscribers. I don't think it's going to get crazy, but they are increasing. It seems almost on a daily basis. I've been on YouTube now for about 8 months. It's been fun. Met a lot of people. Really enjoy the conversations I've had with them. So I wanted to give back, and this is for my 100 subscribers. All right, for the rules, I have that you must be 18, you must be subscribed to my channel, you must like and comment on the video after you submit your video, and for shipping and where it's eligible is it has to be in United States and Canada only. All right. Now to the video submissions. I only have 2 questions, so I'm going to read them off. The first one is, share a memory of a comic trip. This could be a con, local shop, pawn shop, or a swap meet, and what you picked up. Alright, so I was in junior high when I got back into collecting comics heavily. And one of the titles that I picked up was Spawn. Now, this is the first issue. I picked this up. I started Spawn a little bit later than everyone else. I probably started it in 95 or 96, and then I had to go back and find all the titles that I needed. So whenever I had to go pick up comics, one of the things was I lived all the way across town from my local comic book shop. And so whenever I took off for the day, it was basically going to be a half a day that I was out on the town trying to get comics. At that time, I was a rollerblader, and let's put this over here. And so when I would have to blade from basically 10 or 15 miles and then blade back. And every time it was kind of a surprise. I would go and just pick up whatever issues I could find to Spawn to try to fill the collection that I was trying to get, and I never knew what I was gonna find. And this was early on, so there was no internet for me to go online and pick them up. So it was an adventure every time. And then the funny part about this is, occasionally after I picked up my comics and threw them in my backpack. And these are the comics. I've had them in my collection forever. I've had them over the years, and these are the beat up ones. They're not the greatest quality, but they all have a little bit of story to them. So after I would get done getting the comics, I would go and say hi to my mom at work, and then blade back to my house. But that was always a fun adventure, and I'd be gone for half the day. Alright, for the second question, show and tell. Is there a comic you used to get someone into reading comics? Or maybe vice versa, they got you into reading comics. Share their name, if you like, and the story of how it happened. So from junior high to basically the end of my high school year, I was only collecting Spawn. I really didn't want to go and start collecting multiple titles. One, because I was always really low on money, because I come from a very big household. I have 5 brothers and 3 sisters, so the only type of money that I could get is by doing yard work and throwing the B route for my local newspaper, and that's what I used to buy all my comics. But I had a really close friend, and I still do, that got me into reading my second title in my senior year. And the way that he pitched it to me was, they're starting a new Spider-Man series. And in this Spider-Man series, which is Ultimate Spider-Man, written by Brian Bendis, and Mark Bagley was doing the interiors and covers at that time. But he got me into it by saying that this title was made for people of our generation, that the kids spoke like us, they had the same slang as us, and that I remember in 2001, the movie, the first Spider-Man film done by Sam Raimi was going to be coming out. So I ended up finally going to that same local store that I got the other stuff, and I ended up picking up some other issues that I needed. But this is the title that I really like to read. My friend's name was Matt. He doesn't collect anymore, but without him, I probably wouldn't have fully dived back into the hobby. But these are just a couple of the comics that I picked up, and the two slab copies are copies that I got off that I bought, and these were my very first CGC submissions. This was back before pressing or anything else like that, and I was really happy to get these at such a high grade. And this will always be one of my favorite things that I ever read, is Ultimate Spider-Man. So if you've never read it, definitely read it. Alright, for the contest, we're going to have 3 different winners. So I have 3 little packs that I set up. I'm going to bring up the first one. So with these packs, I tried to put a first appearance of some type of character that I feel that people would be interested in, or that are good characters. So I'll leave that for last, but this will be for 3rd place. I'm not sure if there's any Valiant readers out there, but this was a pretty good series that I really enjoyed. This is Valiant #1, and if you're a reader, you're lucky because you're going to almost get the first volume. Volume 2, or I'm sorry, number 2, number 3, number 4, and then this I just wanted to throw in. This is another good reader. This is Thor: God of Thunder number 18, and this is one of my favorite Thor storylines. Another thing that I'm throwing in is the first appearance, and this is written by Kevin Smith and Phil Hessner. And this is the first appearance of Automatopoeia, and this is for the 3rd place if you end up winning. The competition will run for 30 days, and this will be the 3rd prize. Okay, for the second one, we'll go in this order. So for 2nd place, we're going to do Darklaw #1, Darklaw Adventures #1, The Legend of Darklaw, and those are both from the Amalgam universe. And then, alright, next is Rock Candy Mountain by Kyle Stark. This is a great comic just for the simple fact that it's about people riding the rails and a guy that has the ability, the super ability to never lose a fight. And it's from the Image blind box. If you never watch my video, I'll link it in the bottom. So
description box.
And then for the last one is Vengeance #1. This is the first appearance of America Chavez. This is a Dell auto cover. This will be for the 2nd place winner. Okay, and for the last one. Alright, for the last one, let's go with this. So here's another Image blind box. This is the Old Guard by Greg Rucka. That'll be in there. This is a cool rain cover by Djurjevic. So that's Daredevil number 97. And then we have Amazing Spider-Man 650. And I believe this is the first stealth suit Spider-Man. And that'll be in there. And for the very last thing, for first appearance, will be the first appearance of Vision's family. And a character that's, is still going to be very popular for coming up years is Viv. And if you haven't read the story, definitely check it out. But that's all 3 prizes. definitely leave your video in the comments and comment on the video. And good luck.